You mentioned little kids. I have a son that's in football. In his first year, coaches are now taught to recognize certain things, even at that level. What are things that people should look for, symptoms that, basically at any age, but the parents want to keep an eye on their kids that are playing sports like that?
Well, I think you brought up a very good point. The hue and cry about safety in football in particular now is louder than it's ever been. Mm-hmm. Actually, it was louder back in 1905 when Theodore Roosevelt was urged to ban football. It was so dangerous. That's when the NCAA was formed and rules and referees and equipment began. But we're running into the same kind of criticism, and actually the sport now has never been safer. When you were referring to your experience back in the 80s or 90s, clearly from there to where we are now has been a major cultural shift in the understanding of concussions and also the management. So what you alluded to, the coaches now, because of a catastrophic injury to a young man by the name of Lystat in Washington State a few years ago, who went back before he should have and had a catastrophic brain injury. His parents have pioneered the regulations now, I think, in 40, 45 states, where coaches must be certified to have taken a online test to show that they know what a concussion is, how to manage concussions. And in the youth football, we know that the greatest number of concussions occur in games, not so much in practice. So proper blocking and tackling techniques, reducing contact in practice, and the steps that the NFL has done in terms of kickoffs, kickoff returns, and all of these sort of things have been measures taken to reduce the number of impacts.
Mm-hmm. Talk about symptoms a little more. What can parents look for in their kids?
Headache is the most common. Lethargy, fatigue, I just don't feel right. Mm-hmm. And that's a very common one that should not be overlooked, where the young child or athlete, I just don't feel good. My head hurts. I have a little blurred vision. These are very, very important symptoms that need to be addressed and be concerned about. Mm-hmm. And somebody perfectly without those symptoms